Real quick, can you guys give it up for the venue, please? Kind of has like church vibes, which kind of fits Purdue Stand-Up Comedy Club. Kind of like a church for dick jokes. It's like, you know what you're gonna hear every week, but you keep coming back, so thank you very much. We say the sermons are gonna be about 8 minutes long. They're really closer to about 6.5. All right, 5 minutes long. They're 4 minutes long. It's really more about the motion of the sermon than anything else. Speaking of church-like activities, I'm not sure why everyone was so surprised that Jared from Subway was a pedophile, right? It's like, I remember the headlines coming out. It was like, low cholesterol to high molesterol. America's in shock. It's like, I was not in shock. Like, Subway chose the Shutterstock image of a pedophile to support their company. And then like their massive marketing plan with him was to have cardboard cutouts of him pulling his pants up. Do you guys remember this? They're all across America. Yeah, they're insane. Like, that doesn't inspire me to buy 6 inches of anything. Like, much less like shitty meat, right? Like, he's in prison now, which I think is a good thing. I just hope that there was not a lack of meaty Italian footlongs waiting for him. It's like, easy on the sauce, fellas. All right. Thank you. No, I feel like sub places are the only spot where you can get away with ordering food by laying. Like, what if you had to do that at an Italian restaurant, you know? Sir, what would you like to eat today? I'd like 37 feet of spaghetti. You sound like a serial killer. Since we're on the subject of food, does everyone remember VeggieTales?
Yeah.
You grew up with VeggieTales? And what a whack concept for a show. Like, I don't know who was looking at the produce section and was just like, and God's the answer. Like, no one thought that. Like, I like to think that as the VeggieTales got more popular, they just developed terrible habits. It's like Bob, I'm sure, had like just a raging coke addiction. Like, he'd run up on set with just marinara running down his nose. Like, Larry would have been canceled in the Me Too movement, I'm sure. Like, he was a cucumber who didn't wear pants. Like, that has to be an analogy for Harvey Weinstein. Honestly. One of the episodes was particularly dark. It was Bob and Larry talking about what happens to those who died and didn't believe in God. And it just ended with Bob saying nothing and slowly panning to the oven. Whoa. After that, I had to balance it out with like an atheist VeggieTales. The closest thing I found was the Food Network. And, it was just Bob and Larry getting sauteed. It was a very short run. I've recently become pro-climate change. I don't know anyone else. I used to be anti-climate change until I walked up Chauncey Hill during the ice storm, and now I hate polar bears. I got back to my apartment and just started my car and went inside. I wasn't going anywhere, but the polar bears are. Hot take, if you're losing to the weather, I don't know if you should be a bear. I'll just say it, you know? No, just kidding. I actually think climate change is a really big issue that we should be doing something about. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of conservative pushback. I think part of that is just because the name climate change isn't like appealing to like a lot of Republicans. I think we should change it. Maybe something like critical warmth theory. Or alternatively, climate abortion. They would put a stop to that real quick. Like, that was a political stance that just never made sense to me, right? It's like unplanned pregnancy, God's will, whatever. Ice caps, fuck them. Like, conservatives pollute like they think Allah made the ice caps. Like, absolutely not. Like, some Republicans are just so good at naming things. Like, well, I got halfway through a Stop the Steal rally before I realized what it was about. I thought we were anti-metal industry. No, we were anti-democracy the whole time. What does the Capitol have to do with all this? Nothing, virtually. I feel like if renaming climate change doesn't work, we should declare a national emergency. But we gotta be sneaky. For this, I will be doing my best Ted Cruz impression. Ladies and gentlemen of the United States of America, there has been an undocumented surge crossing our border. A surge of warmth. Like, what do we do about it? Build a wall. It's like, no. just don't dump your car batteries directly into the ocean. It's like maybe recycle your crosses. Don't burn them, I don't know. I can make those jokes, my sister's white. I actually have family in the South, and every time I'm down there, I pick up just a little bit of a Southern accent, and it goes away when I get back in Indiana. Unfortunately, I did the same thing when I traveled to Asia this summer. I'll give an example. Just kidding. He thought I was about to commit a hate crime. Not today. No, that's problematic, too problematic. Another thing that's kind of problematic is I wish blitzkrieg wasn't such a cool word. At least I thought that until I learned about what blitzkrieg meant. It was the word that the Germans used in World War II that meant lightning war. I was like, oh shit, that's so cool. I ever wonder if the opposing armies were just conflicted, they didn't know what to think. It's like, oh my God, what's happening to us? Blitzkrieg. Really? That sounds kind of sick. I don't know. It's like, our village is gone. It's like, it'd make a great band name. I don't know. All right, that's my time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I didn't pick that song. That was a pretty good song. I'll be damned. All right. I think resignation is a good thing. I think we should quit jobs, don't treat them well, but I do think we should go further with it. I think there are some jobs that no matter how well they treat you, you should quit. You should walk out. Top of my list, police dogs. You cannot be both man's best friend and also a nut. It doesn't, it's a bad look, okay? I mean, and besides that, they're just bad police officers. I have been through 6 different airports that required passengers to walk single file past a police dog. And for legal reasons, I'm not gonna say they should have stopped me. I'm just going to judge them because they did it, all right? Furthermore, I want y'all to ask yourselves, what kind of honest, God-fearing American cop is too colorblind to engage in racial profiling? It doesn't make sense. Final's got to go. Number 2 on the list, cashiers for liquor stores. If you decide to buy enough alcohol to make you either text your ex or forget about them on a Wednesday afternoon, that's between you, your liver, and your God. No one else has a say in that conversation. All right? And someone might be thinking, you take a chance, but people steal from self-checkouts all the time. And you're right, they do. But stealing from liquor stores is a mistake you make exactly once. That is a self-correcting problem. Here's what happens when you do that, all right? You're a freshman, you walk into BBS, you pick out 3 cans of 4 Loko, because you know nothing. And you think, yeah, this is a serving size. You walk out of the store without paying, and you immediately wake up on a bathroom floor at a dorm. And you beg the nearest RA to euthanize you. And then you never touch alcohol ever again in your life, and you start smoking pot. That's how marijuana works. That's how potheads work. You ask any pothead, hey, why'd you start smoking Mary Jane, right? They're gonna say some bullshit, oh, I like the body high, it's better for you, it makes you feel more spiritual. So you tell them, okay, cut the shit. Why'd you actually start smoking pot? And the answer is always, I had one too many bad hangovers. They're lied to all of us. Marijuana is not the gateway drug. Marijuana is through the gateway. The gateway drug is shitty alcohol. Pablo Escobar was never the DEA's #1 enemy. Their enemy is the guy that's in a beer run and comes back with 2 handles of Fireball for 3 people. He's the problem. Right, speaking of drinking problems, I got a roommate. I love my roommate. It was a good joke. It was funny. Speaking of drinking problems, I got a roommate. I love my roommate. I want to say he has a drinking problem, except he's actually really good at it. And he got good at it the old-fashioned way too. I'm talking just practice and passion. I wake up on a Wednesday morning to go to my class. It's 9 o'clock. And I open my front door, and there's a pizza box the size of an adolescent child. I'm like, hey buddy, did you order pizza last night? And he goes, no, I was drinking by myself. He's okay, well, did drunk you order pizza last night? And he goes, no. Well then, whose pizza is it? And he checks his bank account. He bought the largest cheesy bread that Mad Rush makes. The 2 of us, 2 grown-ass men, lived off this pizza 3 meals a day for the rest of the week. It was absurd. And I can't make fun of them because I do the same shit, right? Last Tuesday, I go to Brothers, I sit down, it's 7 o'clock. I figure I'll have a beer, call it a night, go home nice and easy. I sit down, the bartender goes, hey, nice to see you again. Always a bad start. And she goes, so, the usual? And I'm sitting there going, I don't have a usual. I come here like twice a semester, the first midterm and finals, and that's it, right? So I tell her, hey, I don't have a usual, what do you mean? She goes, you have a usual, you're every Tuesday. I'm thinking, no, I'm not. And she goes, yeah, you are. And she starts listing off all these drinks I supposedly get, and there's like 13 of them, right? And as she's listing this off, I have two thoughts in my mind. The first thought is, I never come here on Tuesdays. This makes no sense. The second thought is, you know what? This sounds pretty good though. I'm onto something. So she finishes this 2,000-word essay, and she goes, you want to start with your Yingling? I'm like, well, I mean, I'll start with that, sure, but I'm never here. She goes, are you sure about that? You should check your bank account. Lo and behold. And that sounds problematic, right? It sounds like you're concerned both for myself and for my roommate. But again, I really do believe that drinking alcohol is a self-correcting problem, all right? And that's not some bullshit theory I have. My girlfriend actually tried to meet the evidence I need for this theory. So last year's Valentine's Day, she asked me if we could play a game called Strip Uno. Now ladies, there are good things you can ask your man for Valentine's Day. You can ask him for chocolate. You can ask him for flowers. You can ask him to stop cheating on you. You have the good options, right? Strip Uno is not a good option. For those of you who are blissfully innocent, the way Strip Uno works is that every time you would draw a card, you can instead choose to either lose a piece of clothing or take a drink, right? And that's something you had time in my day, except we were playing in a little apartment, which has floor-to-ceiling windows, no blinds, and you can't play Uno with the lights up. Now I'm a proud small business owner. I believe in charging myself content. That means I have two options. I can either turn my liver into kimchi or give the neighbors a free show. So we start the game, we start with 2 boxes of Franzia. We end the game with 2 empty boxes of Franzia and also an empty tequila bottle. Beats me. And as soon as it ends, she goes, good job, babe, kiss me on the cheek, and power walks to the bathroom. And that night, I learned my girlfriend has a very special talent. I've always known that she's talented, right? It's part of why I adore her. But that night I learned that she is in fact capable of clogging both the sink and the toilet at the same time. Which that's something, right? But you know what? She hasn't got a blackout drug since. So that's a self-correcting problem. My time's getting kind of short, so I'm gonna leave y'all with 3 takeaways. Takeaway number 1, ladies, if your man isn't willing to hold your hair back, unclog your sink with his bare hand, and hand you toilet paper at the same time, you can do better. Drop it. Gentlemen, if your woman is not ready to drink herself to the absolute brink of total organ failure just to prove a point, you can do better. Drop it. Everybody, all right? If you even think you might have gone out last night, if there is a single purchase, you're like, I don't remember that at all. Check your bank account. Because drunk you and sober you probably don't have the same budget priorities. Thanks, folks.
What's going on, guys?
Woo!
Yeah! Thanks, EJ. I love you. 2 Chainz came out with a new album recently. One of the songs on this album is called 10 Bracelets. Now, if you didn't immediately spot the pattern here, I'll lay it out for you. The pattern is a number and an item of jewelry. Now, I'd like to read an excerpt of this song to you. Once you catch the pattern, you can play along. Arm full of 10 bracelets. I got my arm filled with 10 bracelets. I got an arm full of
10 bracelets.
Arm filled with
10 bracelets.
I got an arm full of
10 bracelets.
I got my arm filled with
10 bracelets.
Thank you. A modern Shakespeare, to be sure. But actually, Shakespeare would not have been brave enough to rhyme bracelets with bracelets 6 times. He wouldn't have. Right? Maybe there's something to this theory, though. Maybe 2 Chainz knows something we don't, because the song is still kind of catchy. Right? Maybe there's something to the pattern. Marvel caught on. They made a movie about 10 rings. Made $400 million. Bruno Mars, he was close. He had 24 karat magic. So, next time you want one of your artistic projects to succeed, just include a number and an item of jewelry. All right? Thank me later and give me 10% because I need the money. I was doing my physics homework the other night and I got stuck on this problem with like a ball hanging from 3 cords. So I went to Google Images and I typed in ball hanging problem. Those were the most lopsided testicles I have ever seen in my life. I wanted physics help, not a WebMD article. But I was scrolling through just because I was curious, and I started to get a little concerned. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, it's nothing, I'm fine. I was talking to this girl. She was a big Chris Brown fan, but I let it slide because she was cute. And so finally I worked up the lopsided balls to ask her out. And, she said, sure, but just know this. My one condition is that I only date men who moisturize. I moisturize my right palm and one other body part. No, moisturize, what? Like, you could have picked anything for your one condition. You could have said, oh, I only date feminists. Or I only date guys over 6 feet. You could have said, I only date black guys. And I would have been like, okay, a little racist, we're all past that, fine. But moisturizer? She said, I bet Chris Brown moisturizes. Oh, Chris Brown moisturizes. If he's good enough for Rihanna, he's got to be good enough for you, right? I don't know. I hope she gets a chance to date Chris Brown because he moisturizes, not because of any other reason. I read this article the other day. The Pope says that couples that choose pets over kids are selfish. Something about the declining birth rates and the future of the human race. I don't know, but I don't buy it. Let's reword that headline a little bit. Leader of organization known for molesting children encourages people to have more children. Really? Really? That's like a burglar encouraging people to keep their windows open at night for the sake of airflow. It's like an arsonist encouraging people to keep a jerry can of gasoline in their garage just in case the power goes out. It's like Bill Cosby encouraging women to put down their drink at the club so they don't spill while they're dancing. Maybe it's good advice, but not from you. Not from you. Religions, am I right? I think it's way easier to be a pastor than people realize. Because with a little bit of mental gymnastics, anything you say can be a metaphor for God. Anything. And it could be like, you know how sometimes at the restaurants they don't bring out the dessert menu until after you finish your meal? That is just like how you do not always know what God's plan is. It's exactly the same. I set up a bank account for my 12-year-old son because he needs to learn to save his money. You know what else he needs to learn to save? His body. For marriage. Amen. I beat my wife. Just like the sun beat down on the Israelites when they were stranded in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Open your Bibles to Exodus, read along, please. And Mormons too, am I right? Those are some crazy people. I have this theory, one guy laughed, one guy liked the Mormon thing. I have this theory that Joseph Smith was just a really horny Christian pastor. He was like, I want to fuck all these bitches, but my book says I can't do it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go write my own book. I'm going to tell everybody that the angels brought it to me on a gold tablet, and then I'm going to go fuck all the bitches. And that's what he did. He could have just become an atheist. He really took the long way around on that one. My roommate was watching the Olympics with this girl. He said that he thinks the luge is a lazy sport because the guy just lays down and doesn't do anything. She said, now you know what it's like having sex with you. And I don't blame her. He's not good. He's taken to faking his orgasms. And if you're good at faking, it's really difficult to tell. If you're my roommate, you sound like a robot with a dying battery. It's like, ee, ooh, it feels so good. I'm coming. Like, why even have sex at that point? I feel like every time somebody fakes an orgasm, Hugh Hefner rolls over his grave. Unless that person is a woman. Then he gives them a pay raise. I think that the part of the man's brain that's wired for expensive cars is the same part of the brain that's wired for porn. Now, if you don't believe me, I want you to try to guess which of these comments came from a car auction and which of them came from Pornhub. Wow, what a beautiful Italian. Anybody know the name of that model? Wow, my whole family could fit inside that. Oh, what's the stain on the back seat there? She's had some modifications done. Like, guys, stop getting horny for cars. That Lamborghini you want, it's like $500,000. A prostitute, it's like 100. What's the better value proposition? That's all I'm saying. You guys are like, oh, but if I have a Lamborghini, I'll have that forever. Okay, then find a prostitute with a venereal disease. You'll have that forever too. Thank you guys, that's my time.
I have kind of been obsessed with Courtney Love lately, so hence the whole song. I really think that I am the spiritual successor to her throne. I think I could take her place in society. I don't really do heroin or anything, but I think I could do it. I think I could fill her role. You know, I could be her, but without all the transphobia. And so I think I could do pretty good. I do this thing when I first start to see somebody that I'm dating, and I ask them, like, do you think Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain? Which is like, you know, how many of you think that Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain? I see a few of you. All right, that's the real test, all right? If you say yes, but you don't have a second addition to that, that's a red flag, all right? I think Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain, and I think she should get away with it. I think women should get to be a little bit evil. I think they should get to do murder, like, at least once, and it's fine. I think unhinged women have a really good place in society, and I think they have a right to power. I think Eileen Wuornos should have been president. You know, no, that one didn't land. Okay, great. Nobody gets that. Apparently I look like I've done heroin though, which has been a problem before. Which doesn't seem like a problem that I should have. I'm afraid of needles, so that, you know how that goes. But I went to art school, which obviously, you know, there's some shit going on here. But I went to art school for the first 2 years of college, and at one of my first parties I went to, I met this girl. She was tall, she had a shaved head, and I was like, hi, Mom. So I see a tall girl and I go, hi. So I was completely infatuated with her until later in the party, she came back up to me and she was like, hey, do you want to buy some dope? And I go, oh, you mean weed? And she goes, no. And I go, oh God, okay, is it money? And she goes, no. Which, I don't know, those are the two things I want in life, weed and money. And then I thought of the third thing that I wanted in life. Is it the love that I didn't receive as a child? She was like, no. Then I figured out it was probably heroin, and I went, no, I'm okay. And she goes, oh, do you know someone who does? And I go, damn, this heroin's really burning a hole in your pocket right now. I really gotta get some black tar in there. I don't really need to do drugs. I'm not really a druggie. I kind of just look like this. I've already hit my bottom in life. At 19, I was dumped via Facebook message by a professional League of Legends player. I've already hit rock bottom. It's fine. I don't need to do drugs to get that low. It's only up from here. And that was before I could legally drink. So I just was sad. And it was awful. Becoming an adult is weird though. I'm 24 now. I'm very old. I feel very old. My bones hurt all the time. I got a letter from the place that I work about my 401k, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm scared. And my mom is an accountant, and her and I are very close, and she's like, you have to set this up. You're gonna get free money by the time you retire. And it had on the thing that I'm gonna retire in 2060. And I was like, fuck, you think I'm gonna live that long? Oh my God, you think our planet isn't going to fucking burn up? Oh my God. And I just got really stressed out. But then I started thinking about all the things I could do with $401,000. You know, I don't really know what a 401, that's what it is, right? Right, that's gotta be. I mean, why else would people get so excited about it? I mean, I could buy 200 and 2,522 pairs of platform shoes. All right? I can finally be over 5 feet tall. Yes. I could buy 100,501 Big Macs. I could finally gain some weight. It'd be great. Love Big Mac. Or I could get 2,638 grams of heroin. So does anybody want to buy any heroin? Okay, that's my time. Thanks so much.
Hello, hello. My name is Josh Balan, and with Valentine's Day coming up, I figured that me, a single guy, could give some tips. So first, cards. Now, Hallmark might own this holiday, but that doesn't mean we have to buy shit from them. So don't worry, I've done the legwork, and I've come up with a few messages of my own that I think can really rock that homemade love letter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this like a poetry slam. So basically, if I could just like get some like pats or some snaps or just whatever to really set the atmosphere. So, all right, thank you. All right, roses are red, violets are blue. I got gonorrhea. Did I get it from you? Thank you. Keep it going. Because guess what I also figured out? That I can write poems for after the date too. So, all right, can I get some snaps, please? Roses are red. Please respond to my text. I swear it was an accident that we went to the wrong XXX. Okay, keep it going. I'm even gonna change up the format this time. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. I wish for the words of my love to fill your heart. Oh, shit, you're illiterate. Okay, next is probably flowers, right? Yeah. Because nothing says I love you more than giving your significant other detached plant genitalia. Like, let's face it, nothing makes me want to pollinate with you more than some plant pussy. And so, this made me think, like, are Venus flytraps one day, like, they're gonna evolve and take over the world at some point, so are they gonna pull a switch on us? Like, okay, is some lass of a plant gonna receive my dick and be like, oh my god, let me put it in a vase? How did you know I like the smaller ones? And then not to mention, I had the realization the other day, so I realized that people call sex the birds and the bees because birds and bees are like pollinators, they help the plants reproduce. Originally, I was like, originally I was thinking the same thing as you, and I was like, does the bird fuck the bee? Like, okay, but this colorblind fuck who's allergic to pollen, probably not the best source for floral advice, so up next is chocolate. Like, okay, I think if it's up to me, I'd want to ditch the boring, like, just regular chocolate, and instead I'm thinking, get one of those heart-shaped tins, and like either use, say, weed brownies, or just like the recreational drug of your date's choice. Because let's face it, if you look anything like yours truly, it'll probably help. But all this, chocolate choosing and flower picking and message writing, I realized that it made me think about all the commercialism around Valentine's Day. And I realized that that advertising around Valentine's Day, it's the same couple companies like over and over. You got like Hallmark, you got your candy companies, you got your jewelry companies, and so I realized that there are like a little bit more tangential companies that we can use. And don't worry, I've written the solution to this problem, and I have some bomb ad campaigns that I think some companies could use. Like, there's just some one-line bangers, like, are you struggling with online dating? Try a 1-month free trial of Adobe Photoshop. Or like, even like, you could go, switch to Verizon to get ghosted in 5G. Like, just really capitalize on that depression. And the thing is, this even works for like door-to-door solicitors. Like, just imagine, hi, do you know anything about romance? Don't worry, neither do we. Come join the Mormon church and pretend you're single on purpose. But don't worry, if you have a date, I have ads for you too. For example, one of my favorites, Miller Lite, here for when the date goes south. And then like, you've even got a bunch of different industries. For example, Ace Hardware, we sell rope and we don't ask questions. Like, the thing is, you can even push medicine with this shit. Like, just imagine, like, lactate. If you shit yourself on the date, at least you know it's not the milk. And so, this made me think, like, obviously you have the big players in advertising, right? You have, again, you have the candy places, you have flowers, all that shit. What if I have my band of really companies that shouldn't advertise on Valentine's Day, take them down? Like, for example, we all know Trojan condoms. Like, okay, just imagine, like, if you just, like, turn on the TV and it's just like, is your Trojan too big for your horse? Try Viagra. Or you could turn it on its head and say, was your horse too big for your Trojan? Try Plan B. But, this begs the question, like, Josh, do you have any advice for the common man? Or are you just a corporate bitch? And so I was like, all right, how do I help the people in the most self-promoting way possible? And I was like, that's it. I'll have, like, fans submit questions. I'll do a Q&A. I'll show how many fans I have. It's great. And so no one submitted questions. So naturally I had to do the next best thing and just rip them from the internet. So these are word for word. I didn't edit them. First off, from Lolita Nixon, are you going to wish me a happy Valentine's Day? No. Or from Nancy Campbell, what is the biggest Valentine's Day disaster you've ever seen? Next question. Let's see, from Lisa Wang. Do you wear red for Valentine's Day? Absolutely. I think that the best way to attract mates is to show off the blood of your enemies. And then finally, my personal favorite, from Oscar. And remember, this is word for word. Is doing sex with one of my gay friend makes me also gay? Potentially, but don't worry, Oscar, I have a solution. So I recently learned that Chick-fil-A, they sell, how you have like the chocolates in like the ditzy heart-shaped box? They do that with chicken. So all you have to do is give your, what was the term? One of my gay friend? You give that chap some Chick-fil-A heart-shaped chicken. And then he'll know, because let's face it, every Chick-fil-A, we all know this, it's common knowledge, they have a force field around it to keep the gay out. So if you give him Chick-fil-A, you're obviously straight. All right, I'm almost out of time, so I'll just say, regardless of whether or not you take my ingenious advice or not, have a great Valentine's Day, everybody, and as always, if you don't hear from me again, it's because I'm dead. Thank you so much.
Hey, how's it going, guys? There's a picture of Robert E. Lee and Ulysses S. Grant after they signed the treaty to end the Civil War. That's a wild concept, to take a group photo at that moment. Imagine this, right? You lose half your men to bullets and diarrhea for 4 grueling years. And at the end of it, someone's just like, all right, everybody, squeeze in. That's insane. Let's take a silly one. So, like, photos take forever to develop back then, so you're standing there with bunny ears for like 10 minutes. The whole time you're thinking, I'm gonna miss slavery. I don't know what made them want to take what seems like one of those family vacation photos where just like no one's having fun. Like, did you sign the treaty at like Six Flags Baltimore? What the fuck? Families are weird, man. My mom keeps sending random pictures and videos of babies that she just finds on the internet. Like, even like stock images of babies. It'd be like a white background and like a Shutterstock watermark. I'm like, you're fucking Googling this shit? It was getting a bit much, so like, in an effort to like stop her, I kind of just started saying like weird shit in response. Like, she sends me like a baby wearing a onesie. I'm just like, too fat. It needs Weight Watchers by Oprah. Just send it. Sends me a video of like 2 babies playing with teddy bears. I'm like, make the babies fight in an octagon. My mom is unfazed. She keeps sending me this shit. And I asked like, why? And she said, to show you the innocence in humanity. This is gonna sound weird, but it's kind of just ruined porn for me. Like, I'm just watching like a girl getting blasted by 2 dudes with like face tattoos and there's like fluids, right? But the whole time I'm just thinking to myself, She used to be a baby. What are they doing to that former baby? Plus, the internet is kind of old enough where my mom could have sent a baby picture of the porn star I'm watching. Just like the worst before and after picture ever. Next time my mom sends me a baby picture, I'm just gonna send like a porn video and just be like, this is her now. I get a lot of weird messages. The best Snapchat I ever got was from my friend Thomas. He was on an airplane, right? And he took a picture of a stewardess in the airplane safety video, right? And he captioned it, "I don't give a shit. I'll shit on this bitch's tits." I feel like that's too much to unpack. First of all, I like how he said it as if someone else told him not to do it. It's like, Thomas, no, she has a family. She used to be a baby. I don't give a shit. On this bitch's tits I shall shit, like Rule 34 Shakespeare, you know what I'm saying? Also, I like how he made it rhyme to make it like more palatable. You know what I'm saying? If someone came up to you and was just like, yo, I don't care, I'm gonna poop on her nipples. You'd be like, you go full falsetto, like, what the fuck? I know I'm an adult, but I need an adult. But like you just said, like, I don't give a shit, I'll shit on this bitch's tits. You'd be like, weird, but bars. Bars nonetheless. I don't give a shit. Of course you don't give a shit. I feel like if you're already pooping on someone's chest, you're not the most caring individual. Because what does that look like? Just, so tell me about your parents. You look thirsty? Do you need some refreshments, my love? You know what I'm saying? So I think I need new friends. Like my roommate keeps having sex with fat girls, and it's getting upsetting. Normally, I wouldn't care who he sleeps with because I don't really pay attention to anything, right? I am more out of tune than a Midwestern opiate addict, just like leaning over in like a Walmart parking lot, harassing passerbys like, do you have $8? It's my birthday, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't normally care if he has sex with fat people, right? Unfortunately, his bed frame is right up against our shared wall. So every night, I hear what can only be described as the townsfolk pushing the beached whale back into the ocean. I'm serious, you think this is a game? Every night on the other side, I just hear, everybody push! Yes, even the kids, come on, come on! Why are you throwing up? You know what I'm saying? Now I know what some of you are thinking. That is a very insensitive thing to say about someone, man. I mean, how fat even are these girls? I'll tell you. I hear them walk around the apartment. When they walk, when they take a step, right? Have you ever heard of bass-boosted music? There you go. Every step is menacing. It's like the final boss in an arcade video game. Like, Bowser, what are you doing here? I'm here to do doggy style. And I'm not saying that obese women somehow don't deserve love. Everyone does, especially them, right? But did my roommate have to be the guy to step up to the challenge and be the Mother Teresa for all BBWs? And do I have to be present for this act of charity? That's like if someone else opened up an orphanage in your car. You have to explain to the state trooper why you have 3 sad kids in the trunk, like no one likes them, so I take care of them. All right, that's my time. You guys are great. Thank you.
All right, man, this is a great crowd, right? Very diverse. I gotta admit, a lot of my jokes are written for my normal audience of 7 drunk, divorced guys sitting at a bar that still lets you smoke inside. Oh, man. I used to wonder why there were so few girls in the Purdue Comedy Club, but today I realized it's because Cooper books these shows in rooms that look like the set of every horror movie I've ever seen. I did want to look nice, though, for this. The only problem is all of my clothes look exactly like this. I've had this shirt since 8th grade because I hate going shopping more than I hate doing laundry 3 times a week. I hate going shopping so much because I'm this weird size right between medium and large, you know? If I buy a medium shirt, I gotta squeeze in, look like Pillsbury Doughboy. If I buy large, it looks like that one time I accidentally got Magnum condoms.
I'm a grad student though. Recently, a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about dropping out, right? But I didn't want to tell my family, right? So I just went online and changed my relationship status to "It's Complicated" on LinkedIn. A couple weeks went by, I figured, I'll stick it out, maybe get an internship, so I changed it again to "Seeking an Open Relationship." I went to a job fair on campus recently, and job fairs are just singles nights for the unemployed. Like, Amazon is the popular girl, Microsoft is the nerdy successful guy, McDonald's is your high school girlfriend. Like, pretty good when you're a kid, but looking back, ooh. I am really proud though, I'm a proud boy. Someone should clip that and send it out of context to the Purdue exponents so they can just put it in their endless stream of bullshit that they call a newspaper. But I am proud though. So I wasn't going to, approach any of these booths. I wanted to stand back and let them come to me. And that worked, right? I got 5 job interviews by the end of the night, and I was feeling really good. But I go home, talk to my buddy, and he says, "Cole, those are all the companies that are pyramid schemes that everyone else was smart enough to avoid." Why do these people even come to university job fairs? Like, what are the chances you're going to convince someone that aerospace engineering is the time of the past? And selling Herbalife is the new path to success? Herbalife isn't even the craziest one, right? There's Mary Kay, where your aunt comes to your house, tries to sell you some makeup you don't want. Pure Romance, where my aunt comes to your house. Tries to sell you a 12-speed handcrafted dildo you don't want. What else? Other pyramid schemes. The U.S. Army. Sort of guy with a buzz cut comes to your house, tries to sell you some PTSD you don't want. These people need to recruit in places that make sense. And I know where they can start. It's my neighborhood in Lebanon, Indiana. We could use some more entrepreneurs, some more boss babes, I can see it now. Kids selling lemonade on the side of the road. Moms selling miracle supplements that make their kids have better business ideas. Dads selling organic farm-to-table narcotics. I think my neighbor's a meth dealer, I really do. There's always cars that come, he hands something, they drive away, never seen again. I know it's not weed because I've never seen any of you guys there. It's always a 1990s Ford Bronco, one door that's painted a different color, a "Let's Go Brandon" bumper sticker slapped on the back. Speaking of Brandon, I just got back from visiting my dad for his birthday. He just turned 61, so he's a little stuck in his ways, Took him out to a brewery for his birthday. He asked the bartender, "What do you have that tastes most like Coors Light?" Then that's what he got. He took his first sip. He goes, "Look." He goes, "These are way cooler from 7-Eleven." He just hates change, he hates change. My dad's 32-inch TV is bigger and heavier than the box of rusty dumbbells in our garage. He just hates throwing stuff away. My dad hates garbage so much that he'll stop and pick up your trash from the side of the road and then put it in his house. What else about my dad? The worst part about going to his house is going in his fridge. It's the worst, man. I hate it. It's so embarrassing. It's humiliating. You open up the door, you gotta get on your hands and knees, pick up all the Taco Bell hot sauce packets that fall out. He doesn't even like the sauce, right? He just can't resist those freebies. I think that's why he likes hotels so much. I swear, that man hasn't bought shampoo, conditioner, or bed sheets in 30 years. How come whenever I go to his house, it's just 3 days of me fixing his computer? Some of my friends' dads are software engineers, IT guys, whatever. The only thing he knows how to do is like my high school girlfriend's selfies. And pick his family members out in the crime section of his newspaper. The other day I needed his help. I needed him to send me a form that I needed for work. It has to be emailed to me, and he had no clue what I was talking about. It's really convenient. He can only find the email when he's forwarding me my student loan bills every month. I got a postcard in the mail the other day, and it was asking for donations, place I went to college, right? Flip it over, there's a 3-inch by 6-inch portrait of myself that I don't remember taking. Caption says, "Cole Tower, class of 2019, could achieve his dreams because of donations like yours." No, the fuck he couldn't! Cole can achieve his dreams because he has self-hatred deeper than Chase Bank's pockets. I was hanging out with my girlfriend's friends for the first time the other day, and we were really drinking, throwing something back, and we decided it was time to go to the bar, right? And we had drank a lot, so they wanted to walk 20 minutes to the bar downtown. And I did what we all wanted to say. You know, I stepped up to the plate and I said, guys, I don't think I can walk 20 minutes to the bar. Good thing I got these. They did not laugh as much as you guys just did. They hate me. They hate me so much. But my gal, she saved me. You know, she helped me get out of the hole that I dug myself into. She goes, "Oh, okay, sorry about that. Cole's just not very good in social situations." What? This is the first time I heard about that. And I think I'm really good at social situations. So I slammed my drink down and stormed out of the room. I didn't do that. To be fair to my girlfriend, though, she's not the only one who said something crazy to me that night. This one girl came up to me and she looked me right in the eyes. She goes, "If you've never had chlamydia, then you're not hot." And that girl is going to be an elementary school teacher. You guys remember your elementary school teachers?
Yeah.
Kid, you know, you think they're so old and put together. Those ladies were 23 years old. The night before your big exam was her sorority sister's bachelorette party. 12 hours before, she's yelling at you. She was getting a tequila shot sucked out of her belly button. Swinging her strapless bra on stage at the DJ. She's so drunk the next day in class that she can't teach. She has to push that big carton TV out with a built-in VHS player. And I say all that to say this. Bill Nye owes his career to Jose Cuervo. All right, guys, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you so much for coming out.
Hello!
Hey, EJ.
So, a little fun fact about me. In high school, I was voted both class clown and most opinionated, which means I guess I have some funny opinions. So I'm going to be taking you through a few of them today, all right? Opinion 1. I'm still on the fence on whether or not dogs should be able to vote. Because they don't know who Mitt Romney is, but neither do I. Really, I'm worried about the semantics of it all because, you know, you need an ID to vote, and dogs don't have birth certificates, so we're going to need to teach them to drive. And there are already people who shouldn't be on the road, right? I don't want to introduce a whole new species. I don't want to get rear-ended by a golden doodle just because he was trying to get to know me better. All right? I'm still calling my insurance company. But I think it would all be worth it if we got to see political ads aimed at dogs. Like, "Hi, I'm Bubbles McScrumdy. I'm running for president. I need your vote, the canine American vote. If elected, I will introduce legislature to get you ownership of plots of land you peed in. I will eliminate Governor Sassafras's background checks on rubber balls. And I will ensure to end the war on bacon strips. Vote McScrumbles 2024. Opinion 2. I think men should make more than women, and by that I mean children.
You already do.
Gentlemen, we are way behind, all right? We are so fucking behind. And you may be asking yourself, EJ, why the fuck do you think this? Because I believe in true equality, all right? Anything that a man can do, a woman should be able to do, and vice versa. A woman should be able to walk home safely at night and make the same as a man in her field, and I should be able to rocket a baby out of my taint. Guys, we've been losing for the past,
I already do.
the dawn of time. It's not good. Okay? It's like 107 billion to however many kids have come from trans men. All right? We're being hard carried here. Opinion 3. Sexism. So last decade. I'm over it. We need a new type of discrimination. I'm calling it sexyism. 4 out of 10s, it's time to rise up, all right? For too long, hot people have been represented in magazines, movies, porn, my nightmares. And I will no longer stand for it slightly hunched over. Not while there are still warts on my ass and my grandma's reassurance that I'm her handsome young man. You may be saying, EJ, I'm interested in your cause. What can I do to help? And I hear you. So here's my step-by-step guide to being a sexiest.
Step 1, identify a blench. That's my hot people slur. Step 2, inconvenience them, because you can't just straight up harass blenches, right? Because I think like hot people have like a security detail all the time, I'm pretty sure. So like you gotta inconvenience them. If you work in food service, fuck up their order. If you work in like retail, like, and they ask you where to find something, send them to a different aisle. If you work for like, you know, an Uber or something, and you know, you pick them up, take them to Dave & Buster's. Sure, you're making them late for like brunch or whatever hot people do, but like they get to buy a margarita and play Mario Kart. So I'm not sure if they're losing on that one. And you may be saying, EJ, that's awfully fucked up, ain't it? You're discriminating people based on how they look? That's fucking rude. And you think that's wrong, right? No. Listen, changing your beauty aesthetically, it's the easiest thing you can do. All you need to do is meet the business end of a shovel like a dozen times. Voila, you can harass yourself some blenches. Opinion 4, way too many people say they're up for anything when they've never joined a cult. And I'm not talking some shitty cult like the Mormons. Like, look at Mitt Romney. I mean, I haven't, but you should. No, I'm talking like a full-on cult. Like, if we're going out to dinner, all right, and you say you're down for whatever, congrats. You've just gotten yourself a 3-course meal of the shrunken heads of the non-believers, all right? You say you're down for anything on game night, I'm whipping out my Ouija board and I'm selling your soul for a McDouble, all right? If you can't give me a definitive answer, at the very least you owe me a shitty sandwich. Opinion 5. This one's gonna take some explaining, all right? Just bear with me. So, if you all have followed a lot of superhero media that isn't Marvel, you've probably noticed a lot of evil supermen. Like, if you've watched Invincible, that's the big one, Omni-Man. And you know, I'm kind of over it. We've seen so many evil Supermen, I know what to expect from their power set. So we need to make a new evil superhero. But I don't think we go for like Wonder Woman or Batman. No, I think we go straight to the bottom of the barrel. All right, the absolute dog shit heroes that were like created in the 60s for the fuck of it. So, my research, I found a few of heroes worthy of this title. Arm fall off boy, whose power may elude you at first. And the phone ranger, whose power is making phone calls, which makes every person in this room a superhero. Great job, guys! Yeah! But like, what can they do, like, if they were evil? Like, the phone ranger, he's entirely nullified by the block call button. He's got one crank call in him and then it's over. And all arm fall off boy is, you can just steal a bunch of shit from vending machines and that's about it, right? Now, if you want a superhero that's like completely dog shit and also capable of evil, I think you gotta go with Matter Eater Lad, whose superpower is an eating disorder. And what does evil Matter Eater Lad do, you may be asking? He eats books of faith. Matter Eater Lad, that's the Torah! No, you're gonna go to hell! This is a long scroll. Opinion 6. I wish they had a new apostle. We need another one, you know? Matt, Mark, Judas, John, they're not doing it for me anymore. I think we need Apostle Ricky. All right, my new scripture. We open up on a rager party in Nazareth, all right? Jesus walks in, as he does. Ricky is there, all right? He's making out with 2 women at once. He's got a pile of chips on his lap. He is clearly stoned out of his fucking mind. Jesus approaches him and he says, my son, you're violating like 4 deadly sins right now. That's super not cool. And Ricky, in a moment of pure elation, he vomits on himself, like a well put together individual. And then Jesus brings him some water, and he does that Jesus thing where he converts liquids, and he hands it to him and tries to sober him up, and like, Ricky's fucking ecstatic. Holy shit, dude, you can make wine? And so Ricky tags along for 20 years not learning a single goddamn thing. But at least he taught Jesus to do a kegger. And that's the last thought I had since I came here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you did.